We gonna get there tonight. No matter how much you labor, because it rains on the just and the unjust, you are not even guaranteed to be profitable, to be rich, or successful. I know that that's going to hurt some people's feelings. Because the thing that they preaching to you in this prosperity gospel, right? Because there is a way to be successful, absolutely. But a real man, his inherent nature is to serve and to be purposeful based off of the direction that God give him. But he never guaranteed that you will be successful in the way that you think success is supposed to look like. It's some men, for example, I'm going to give you the game. Because I hate this narrative that they keep telling you that a man ain't a real man if he ain't doing all of this. Don't you know some of the greatest men in our history died broke? Some of the very people that we pedestalize and had the greatest messages for the black community. You think I'm about to downplay the significance of Malcolm X, and he didn't even know where his next meal was coming from. Jesus himself in the Bible on a day-to-day basis lived based off of the faith that they had in God. So if you are truly a Bible scholar, then you know that there were people in the Bible that were incredibly successful because that's just what God ordained for them. And there were men in the Bible that suffered from the time that they started preaching the word of God all the way into the time that it was over for them. Jesus and the disciples every day had to go based off of whatever it was that was happening at the time that was happening. And then they found themselves at the mercy of whomever they was at the mercy of. And then God had to bring them through it based off of whatever the purpose was that their life was. So are you going to sit here and tell me that Jesus, who could have called legions of angels to get him down off of that cross, that died for the sins of every last one of us, and was not a rich man on heaven, was not a real man? Is that what you're going to tell me? Are you going to tell me that Malcolm X, who largely gave you some of the greatest speeches and the greatest life lessons based off of how he lived his life, who I read the book, I got the book right there in there from his daughter. You're going to tell me that Malcolm X, who couldn't necessarily provide for his wife at the time of his demise, was not a real man? Are you going to sit here and tell me that Martin Luther King himself, who advocated for equal and said that we need to evaluate people based off of the content of their character instead of the color of their skin, and gave you some of them, who was literally being documented by the FBI, and he was sending fake tapes allegedly and all of this stuff over to his family and his wife held him down until the time that she passed away? You gonna sit here and tell me that Martin Luther King wasn't a real man? Then who is a real man? Is a man defined just by only his ability to be able to provide financial resources to his wife? Or is it based off of the purpose that he had? Because you may, as a woman, be ordained to hold down a man whose legacy is going to change the world. But it may not even necessarily come as a result of being rewarded financially. Are you going to tell me that you're not going to stick by what God said for you to do based off of your own understanding? Or is it based off of what it is that he ordained you to do? See, that flies in the face of all of this BS that they continue to tell you over the internet. Some of us may be blessed more than others, but if you're going to sit here and tell me that that man is purposeful in his community, that's saving little kids, that's literally the foundation of whatever it is that that kid is going to be later on in his life, that God sent that man in order to make sure that that kid got the lesson that he needed at the time that he needed it, you're going to sit here and tell me that he's not a real man? It's plenty of real men every single day that labor tirelessly labor every day to cover the people in their community, and they may not necessarily die and be rich men as a result of it. But you're not going to sit here and tell me that these men that ain't doing nothing illegal in order to continue to get their bag is not real men because you said so, because you want to simp out for women and you want to lead them astray. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you the real, right? I know plenty of men every single day that go out there, take care of business, provide for their family, and do what they're supposed to do, and then they come home and they live in their purpose. And their purpose may be completely different from my purpose, and it may be completely different from your purpose. I'm blessed. I never expected for anything other than whatever it is that God was going to provide for me, but I know for a fact that I was always going to do whatever it is that God told me to do. I'm incredibly blessed. There were men in the scriptures that literally were, all of the disciples was being beheaded, chased on a regular basis. Are they not real men? Because there was rich men, and he said that it was going to rain on the just and and the unjust. Are you telling me that it's not men that die that don't necessarily have a whole lot? It don't mean that you're not supposed to be a good steward over your resources. It doesn't mean that you're not supposed to be financially literate. Just because you're financially literate don't necessarily mean that you're going to be a rich man either. So you telling me because this man don't work 2 jobs, but he works 1 job and he may put in 50 hours a week and then he allocates the rest of his money over to whatever it is that his purpose is? You telling me he not a real man? Are you telling me that my father, right, who did not allocate all of his resources into making sure that he invests, but he took care of legions and legions and legions of men on a regular basis? There are men today that run into me at the gas station. I just ran into a guy at the gas station the other day. He is not my brother. Not biologically. Not biologically. He is not my brother. He is not my brother. Biologically, he not. That's a fact, though. You know what he said to me when I ran into him? He said, Anton, I ride around with your father's obituary. My father didn't die a rich man, but my father was righteous. He was righteous. He did the thing he was supposed to do, and he poured into, and he took care of countless young men. Countless young men. A lot of times he would either work, or he would head home, and he took care of countless young men on a regular basis. I am largely the beneficiary of his sacrifice, and so many other guys are too. So many other guys are the beneficiaries of his sacrifice, and so you're going to sit here and tell me what a real man is? I don't believe you. I don't believe you. You need more people. I don't believe you. You need more people. Flat out. You need more people, family. Because I don't think that y'all know what real men are. You never seen one. You never understood what the purpose of a real man is. And whenever I see a guy sit here and pander and tell me that the purpose of a man is to continue to pour into a woman, I know that it's a red flag. I'm not going to sit here and play no games with you. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm not interested in hearing your opinion. I'm not interested in negotiating with you. And as a matter of fact, real men don't sit here and have conversations trying to take advice from women in order to try to understand what their purpose is. That's not what they do. That's not what they do. Talk to all of literally the tens of young men that ultimately was the beneficiary of the sacrifices. And it's not even just my father. That's just one representation. Countless men on a regular basis are the beneficiary of men that make sacrifices every single day. And you're going to sit here and tell a grown man that he's not a real man, and then y'all have the nerve to talk about 50-50? Did you say 50-50? Did you say 50-50, family? I'm just curious. Is that what you said? 50-50? Real men, let's just address this head on. Real men, they say real men don't go 50-50 with their woman. Okay. All right. So real men don't go 50-50 with their woman. I got it. So if real men don't go 50-50 with their woman, all right, I'm with you. Let's say that that's true. Real men don't go 50-50 with their woman. Let me ask you a question. How many women are literally out here finessing men and putting their names in their phone as food? How many women are finessing men and putting their name in their phone as food? Just curious.
Hello.
What up, Court?
Hey, bro.
Chilling. So I'm on a live stream, right?
Uh-huh.
You are my big bro, right? Not literally biologically, but I grew up and you what, like 6, 7 years older than me?
Yeah, I'm 40. What am I? What am I? What am I? What am I? 49.
49. All right. So I'm 41, you 49.
Okay.
And what was it like growing up with my father?
Oh, it's amazing, man. Absolutely, absolutely amazing. I mean, growing up and not having a father and having him just take that interest, into you and treat me no different than he treated his own sons was amazing, man. I mean, like, Dad worked at Kelsey Hayes.
Mm-hmm.
He put in his 12-hour shift. I wait for him to come home. And then we out in the backyard 3-4 hours shooting ball. At least a good 3 hours every day. Me and Pops, we shot ball every day. After he put in 12 hours. Then, he used to take us fishing every Saturday over in Canada. So growing up with him, man, it was amazing. But not only amazing, man, he just showed you what a father was, So we know what we have, what we didn't have, at our house, I gathered at your house. And that was a father figure. And, we ain't going to take away moms either, because moms treated me no different than, you, Dre, and Gene, and what's the name? I can't think of his name.
Greg.
So she treated me no different. But growing up with Pops, man, was the best. I mean, it was the best. He'll come out there and he showed you what a father was. He showed you the time a father put in. He showed you, the responsibility of a father. No matter what he was doing, he always took care of home, and that was the biggest thing right there. He always took care of home.
How long has it been since I had seen you, Court? I ran into you at the gas station the other day and we exchanged phone numbers. How long has it been since I seen you and talked to you?
Oh my God, it was damn. I mean, besides when I came to the restaurant. Just take away the restaurant part. That time I came and got the food from the restaurant.
Yep.
Oh, it was that was.
It's been years.
It's Green Line, so it had to be a good 20-something years.
20-something years, right?
Yeah.
And we ran into each other and we like hugged like we was like blood.
Yeah, I mean, y'all are family, man. I mean, it's no different. I mean, not only with Pops and everything, but I mean, with the whole family. Rod, Steve, Jeff, Uncle Gerald, Mo. Everybody treated me no different than they treated their own nephew.
All of these men in my family, all of my uncles.
All of your uncles. Remember, Steve used to come pick me up all the time. We wouldn't play ball every Saturday.
Yep.
We wouldn't play ball every Saturday, but that's when we went out and played ball. Remember, Monday through Friday, we was in the backyard. And
I patterned my game right after yours.
And Pops be out there hooping every day. And I finally, after years and years of playing with him, I finally beat him. And when I beat him, he said, "Son, it's your yard now." And I'll never forget that. He said, "It's your yard now."
Yep. And when I ran into you, you was with your wife. When I ran into you at the gas station the other day, what did you have in your car when I ran into you?
I had Pops with me. He ran with me. He ran with me every day. That's why I was playing. That's why they don't pull me over.
You literally had his obituary in the car with you.
It's in the car right now. He ran with me everywhere I go. Everywhere I go. That's my safe haven. He's my safe haven. He's my angel. So I ran. I'm good. I keep on keeping him in the car with me.
I appreciate you, Court. Thanks, bro.
All right, bro.
I got brothers all across the entire city of Detroit. Some of them moved out to California. Some of them moved over to New York. Some of them moved down to Florida. But let me tell you something. My father did not die a rich man. He did not die a rich man. My father died with taxes that he owed that me and my brothers wound up taking care of in order to make sure that my mother was straight. But let me tell you something. There were countless young men. And my father didn't know these young guys. These are not guys like cousins or anything. Court that I just got off the phone with, He lived around the corner. He just so happened to be walking by one day and see my father and my uncles working on the backyard. And he decided to take a liking and ask my father what they was doing. And my father took him under his wing. My father took him under his wing and said, nah, you my son now. Cord didn't grow up with a father. He took him under his wing. Listen, don't you sit here and fucking tell me what a man is supposed to be. You don't even know what a man is supposed to be. You shooting in the dark. You have no clue. You have no blueprint. You have no understanding of what a man is supposed to be. You don't know what it means to be a man because you ain't never seen one in real life. So how you gonna give direction to other men, especially as a woman or as a man that is giving direction trying to sell a fucking product? How you gonna sit here and have a conversation with people and try to give them instruction on what it takes in order to be a man? You don't know what it looked like.